All right, everybody, welcome aboard here to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you as we look back at the Jets' 12-7 preseason victory over the New York Giants. And yes, it is indeed preseason. There's not a lot you can get out of these games. Certainly nothing you can really garner from the Giants' standpoint, considering that the starters, for the most part, did not play in this game at all, with the exception of a few guys in the offensive line and on defense, for that matter, but no Daniel Jones, no Saquon Barkley, obviously, as he's still coming back from the knee injury. But this game was really all about one thing and one thing only. It was about the debut of Zach Wilson, and let's talk about that because a lot has been made about Zach Wilson's effort in training camp up to this point. Seeing a lot of stuff from a lot of beat writers about how Zach Wilson had been struggling, especially after the Jets' green and white scrimmage, where Wilson reportedly threw 2 interceptions during that scrimmage, and of course pointing out that players like Justin Fields and of course Trevor Lawrence practicing very well, for that matter, in training camp. And for the first time in a long time, we see people keeping track of practice stats, which is very, very unusual, for that matter. I understand that we are in New York. I understand that we live in an era where players, especially at the quarterback position, are under an intense microscope, really from the jump, for that matter. And the expectations for a lot of the young quarterbacks are sometimes overreaching, for that matter, especially early on, and teams want to go out there. They want to get these guys experience as soon as possible. There's no real wait period anymore for quarterbacks, but it is practice. It is preseason, and these are kids, these are rookies trying to learn a new scheme, a new system, and learn the ins and outs of the NFL. All that being said, I think a lot of the criticism, criticism for that matter, considering it is preseason, somewhat unfair, because what we saw from Zach Wilson in this game, in game action against another team, for the first time facing players other than his own teammates, I thought he looked very well, very good. 6 out of 9, 63 yards, in fact. He had a nice touch on his passes. He was accurate. Obviously, didn't make the big throw downfield, but did zip in a few nice passes, converted 3 big third downs. The Jets overall as an offense had 7 first downs converted with Zach Wilson under center. They did drive down and get a field goal out of it, and were not for the Jets' inability to convert on a 4th and 1. Maybe they go down and get another score, for that matter, because Zach Wilson was looking good on his second possession as well. So I thought overall a very good night for Zach Wilson in his debut as the starting quarterback of the New York Jets. As I said, accurate, nice touch. Had a nice presence in the pocket, didn't hurry any throws, didn't take any sacks, got rid of the football when he needed to. It was really mistake-free football, for that matter, from Zach Wilson. You have to be encouraged from what you see from a Jet fan. So for a lot of the criticism that was heaped upon him a week ago, I think it's time to, pump the brakes just a little bit. This is, again, it's a rookie quarterback. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. We all know that. And I thought for a first opportunity to be on television, national television, in front of a wider audience, and for more fans to see what he could do against an opponent for the first time, I thought he did very, very well. I thought he asserted himself very well in this game. One thing that did stand out for me was the offensive line. Now, there was no Elijah Vera Tucker in this game. He was a scratch, but we did see Morgan Moses there at right tackle for the first time, and this offensive line was really good up front. With the 2 big guys on the ends, Moses and, of course, Mekhi Becton, they created a lot of running lanes for Ty Johnson, for Michael Carter. They were both very impressive in the really the focus of the first string offense there on the first couple of possessions. I thought they ran the football extremely well. And if the Jets can run the football very well, that's going to open up a lot of things for Zach Wilson downfield. As far as receiving core is concerned, obviously we saw Corey Davis get involved. We saw Keelan Cole get involved early. We didn't see obviously a lot of Denzel Mims early in the game. Whatever reason, I'm not too sure what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of talk, a lot of rumors that maybe the Jets are down on him, or that some fans want to give up on him. He did have a great catch later in the game where he carried a whole bunch of Giant defenders for a first down. Ended up with 3 catches for 51 yards. I still think he's a guy who could have an impact in this offense. And with no Elijah Moore, who has an injury, he was a scratch from this game. Obviously, the Jets are not going to open up everything in their offensively, for that matter. And then you could see how well this offense can really gel. But there's a lot of young talent on this team, especially wide receiver and running back. Offensive line looked very good. And as a result, Zach Wilson played very good football. As I said, no mistakes, did what he had to do. I thought defensively they really got after the football, especially early on. Bryce Huff, he ended up with 2 sacks in the game. One of them came early in the first quarter. He showed some nice burst off the edge. So I thought overall, from the Jet standpoint, you have to like what you saw. You saw a team that has some nice pieces. They flashed a little bit of it offensively. They didn't show you too much. They're not going to show you they're not going to open up and show you everything here in preseason. But I thought it was efficient, and I thought they did a fairly nice job from the starter standpoint. What we saw from the starters in this game. Now, of course, in this kind of microscope world we live in, where everyone kinds to compare quarterbacks and everything else with young quarterbacks, I don't think that's fair. I mean, look what Justin Fields did today for Chicago. First couple series for him, 2 or 3 series, he struggled. Had a fumble, had some bad incompletions, looked awkward in the pocket, and then eventually the Bears said, we're going to let you play for a couple more quarters. He settled in and ended up having another couple of touchdown drives, including a touchdown pass that was a busted play for that matter. So these are all rookies. They're all whether it's Fields, whether it's Zach Wilson, whether it's Trevor Lawrence. And I know the expectations are all on all these guys. Even Trey Lance, who had a big touchdown pass for the 49ers in his preseason debut. These are preseason games, for that matter. We all know that. And these are guys who are going to be learning on the fly in a lot of cases, and especially with Zach Wilson, who's going to be starting right away to start the season, since there's nobody behind him. So give it time and be patient. That's the biggest key. I think in a lot of cases, rookies look like rookies in their first week of preseason. That's really how I would come up with it. But from the Jet fan standpoint, with all the hand-wringing that went on this past week, from Jet fans, from beat reporters, from people who are on talk radio saying, maybe the Jets got the wrong guy. We don't know that yet. We have no idea. We won't know for a couple of years. So let's just take it easy. See how this kid does. See how he does over a period of time and how he develops. You have to be encouraged, really encouraged by what you saw today in this game against the Giants. As I said, accurate, got rid of the football, had a nice touch, and hit his receivers in tight spots. And that's what you have to like. And that's why the Jets brought him in here. And eventually, they're going to open things up when they get some guys back like Elijah Moore. So from my standpoint, I give Zach Wilson and the Jets an A in their preseason debut here in 2021. So, folks, leave your thoughts below. How do you feel about Zach Wilson's debut here with the New York Jets in a preseason game? And remember, if you have any Giant fans out there, leave your thoughts about how you feel right now about your team. I know you didn't see anything from the starters this week. Again, leave your thoughts below, like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.